The ship moved slowly through the darkness of space. It was small compared to the massive vessels that floated near the Galactic Council station. Inside the ship, a man named Tai-Ho sat quietly in his seat. He wore a simple gray suit. His black hair was neatly combed. His face was calm and peaceful, like a man who had no worries in the world. Beside him sat a young woman named Yuna. She was his assistant. She looked out the window at the giant station ahead of them. It was the size of a small moon. Lights covered every part of it. Ships from hundreds of different species came and went like busy insects. "We are arriving," Yuna said softly. Tai-Ho nodded. He did not speak. He simply looked at the station with his gentle eyes. Anyone who saw him would think he was a kind teacher or perhaps a librarian. He had soft features and a warm smile. Nothing about him suggested danger. This was exactly what Earth wanted. The Galactic Council was the most powerful organization in the known universe. It contained over 300 different species. They made laws. They controlled trade. They decided which species could travel freely among the stars and which species would be left. Alone on their home planets, humanity had discovered faster than light travel only 20 years ago. They had explored nearby systems quietly. They had watched and learned about the galaxy, and now they wanted to join the council. They wanted a seat at the table where the future of civilizations was decided. But many species did not want humans to join. They saw humans as weak. Humans were small. They had no claws. They had no hard skin. They could not breathe in toxic air or survive in extreme cold. To the galaxy, humans looked like prey animals. Soft, helpless, unimportant. The ship docked at the station. Tai-Ho stood up and straightened his suit. Yuna gathered their bags. They walked together toward the exit. When the door opened, Tai-Ho took his first breath of alien air. It smelled strange. The station's atmosphere was a careful mix designed for many species. It was not comfortable, but it was safe. A tall creature waited for them at the dock. It had blue skin and 4 arms. Its eyes were completely black. This was their guide, a member of a species called the Tyranni. "Welcome to the Galactic Council Station," the guide said. Its voice was flat and emotionless. "You are the human representatives?" "Yes," Tai-Ho said with a small bow. "Thank you for receiving us." The guide looked at them for a long moment. Tai-Ho could see the doubt in its eyes. Another species wondering why these small, soft creatures thought they belonged here. They followed the guide through long hallways. Other aliens passed them. Some were huge with bodies like mountains. Some were covered in sharp spines. Some floated instead of walking. All of them looked at Tai-Ho and Yuna with curiosity or contempt. One alien, a massive reptilian creature, stopped directly in their path. It was 3 meters tall. Its scales were dark green and looked like armor. Its yellow eyes stared down at Tai-Ho with open hatred. "So these are the humans," the creature said. Its voice was deep and rough. "I am Ambassador Krell of the Vorn Empire. I have heard much about your species." Tai-Ho looked up at the towering alien. He smiled politely. "It is an honor to meet you, Ambassador Krell. I am Tai-Ho, representative of Earth." Krell laughed. It was an ugly sound, honor. "What do you know of honor, little creature? Your people hide on your small planet. You have no warriors. You have no strength. You come here begging for membership like animals begging for food." Other aliens stopped to watch. They formed a circle around Tai-Ho and Krell. Some of them smiled. They enjoyed seeing the human being humiliated. Yuna tensed beside Tai-Ho. Her hand moved slightly toward her bag. But Tai-Ho gently touched her arm. A signal to stay calm. "You are right that we are new to the galaxy," Tai-Ho said. His voice remained soft and respectful. "We have much to learn. We hope the council will give us a chance to prove ourselves." Krell leaned down until his face was close to Tai-Ho's. His hot breath washed over the human's face. "Prove yourselves. You are prey. On my world, creatures like you are hunted for sport. You should go back to your little planet before someone decides to make an example of you. Taiho did not step back. He did not show fear. He simply looked into Krell's eyes and said, "Thank you for your advice, Ambassador. I will remember it." For a moment, something flickered in Krell's eyes. He had expected the human to cower. He had expected fear or anger. But Taiho showed neither. He just stood there with his peaceful smile. Krell snorted and pushed past them. His massive shoulder hit Taiho and nearly knocked him over. Taiho stumbled but caught himself. He straightened his suit again and continued walking as if nothing had happened. Later that night, Taiho and Yuna sat in their small quarters. The room was basic but clean. Through the window, they could see the stars. "He will be a problem," Yuna said. "Krell hates us." I could see it. Yes, Taiho agreed. The Vorn have been against human membership from the beginning. They believe only strong species deserve rights. Yuna looked at her companion. "Why did you not respond when he insulted us?" "You could have said something." Taiho was quiet for a moment. Then he spoke softly. "A dog that barks loud often has no real bite, and a man who speaks soft often has no need to bark." Yuna understood. She had read Taiho's file. She knew what he really was beneath his gentle appearance. The galaxy saw a weak diplomat. Earth had sent something very different. Meanwhile, in another part of the station, Krell met with 3 other ambassadors. They sat in a dark room with no windows. "The humans must not be allowed to join the council," Krell said. "They are weak, but they are clever. If they gain power here, they will spread like a disease." One of the other ambassadors, a creature made of living stone, nodded. "What do you suggest?" Krell smiled, showing rows of sharp teeth. "An accident. The human diplomat will suffer an unfortunate incident. When the council sees how easily humans die, they will never accept them. The council has laws against harming diplomats," another ambassador warned. "Laws protect the strong," Krell said. "No one will investigate too deeply when a prey animal dies. It is simply nature," the ambassadors agreed. They began to plan. They did not know that they were making the worst mistake of their lives. They saw Taiho as a weak creature in a suit. They did not know they were planning to attack Death himself. 3 days remained before the council would vote on human membership. Taiho spent his time attending meetings and speaking with different ambassadors. He was always polite. He always smiled. He bowed to everyone he met, even those who treated him with disrespect. The aliens did not understand him. In their cultures, weakness was shown through submission. When Taiho bowed, they saw fear. When he spoke softly, they heard cowardice. They did not realize that on Earth, these were signs of confidence. Only a truly strong person could remain calm when surrounded by enemies. Yuna watched everything carefully. She noticed the Vorn soldiers who followed them at a distance. She saw the way certain ambassadors whispered when Taiho passed by. Something was being planned. She could feel it like a storm approaching. On the second day, a strange visitor came to their quarters. She was an alien from a species called the Vexi. Her body was thin and covered in soft golden fur. She had large dark eyes and delicate wings folded against her back. Her name was Lorray, and she was one of the few ambassadors who had treated humans with kindness. "May I come in?" Lorray asked. Her voice was like music. Taiho welcomed her inside. They sat together while Yuna prepared tea. It was a human tradition that Lorray found fascinating. "I must warn you," Lorray said quietly. "There are those who wish to harm you. Ambassador Krell has been meeting with others who oppose human membership. They are planning something terrible." Taiho sipped his tea calmly. "We suspected as much." "Thank you for telling us." Lorray looked confused. "You do not seem worried. Do you not understand? Krell is dangerous. The Vorn are warriors. They have conquered dozens of worlds." "I understand," Taiho said. "But worry will not help us. We will be careful." Lorray shook her head. "You Earth people are strange. You are so small and fragile, yet you speak as if you have no fear at all." Yuna smiled at this. If only Lorray knew the truth. After Lorray left, Yuna secured the door and activated a small device that blocked any listening equipment. Now they could speak freely. "The attack will come soon," Yuna said. "Probably during the cultural exchange event tomorrow night. It is the perfect opportunity. Many species in one place. Easy to create chaos." Taiho nodded. He stood and walked to his luggage. From a hidden compartment, he pulled out several small objects. To anyone else, they looked like ordinary items. A pen, a belt, a tie clip. But Yuna knew what they really were. "I will wear the full set tomorrow," Taiho said. Yuna felt a chill run down her spine. She had seen what Taiho could do with those tools. She had read the reports from his previous missions. Before he became a diplomat, Taiho had been something else entirely. On Earth, there was a secret program. The government knew that the galaxy was a dangerous place. They knew that humanity would need protectors. So they created the Shadow Corps. These were men and women trained from childhood to be perfect soldiers. They could kill in hundreds of different ways. They could survive conditions that would destroy normal humans. They were weapons shaped like people. Taiho was the best of them. His codename was the Reaper. In 15 years of service, he had completed over 200 missions. He had ended wars single-handedly. He had brought down entire criminal organizations alone. Governments had fallen because of his actions, and then Earth decided to send him to the stars. Not as a soldier, but as a diplomat. It was the perfect disguise. No enemy would ever suspect that the soft-spoken man in the gray suit was the deadliest. Human alive, Taiho closed his eyes and let the memories come. He remembered his training. Days without food or sleep, fighting until his bones broke, and then fighting more. He remembered his first mission. A young man walking into an enemy base with nothing but a knife. He had walked out covered in blood that was not his own. He remembered the faces of those he had killed. He did not enjoy killing. He never had. But he was very, very good at it. "Are you all right?" Yuna asked. Taiho opened his eyes. "I was just thinking, tomorrow will be difficult. Not the fighting. That is easy. The difficult part will be controlling myself." Yuna understood. Taiho had been trained to eliminate threats completely. Showing mercy was hard for someone like him. But they were diplomats now. They needed to prove that humans were civilized. That meant he could not simply kill everyone who attacked him. "Disable them," Yuna said. "Show them our strength without showing them our darkness." Taiho smiled. It was a sad smile. "I will try." Far from the station, hidden in the shadow of a small moon, a human ship waited silently. It was called the Silent Wind, and it was one of Earth's most advanced military vessels. Its hull was covered in special material that made it invisible to all known sensors. On the bridge, a man named Minho monitored dozens of screens. He was the military advisor assigned to support Taiho's mission. His job was to watch and wait. If things went wrong, he would bring the full power of the Silent Wind to rescue the diplomats. "Status report," Minho said. "All systems ready," his officer replied. "We can reach the station in 4 minutes if needed." Minho nodded. He watched a screen that showed Taiho's location inside the station. A small dot moving through halls filled with aliens who wanted him dead. "Be careful, old friend," Minho whispered. He had known Taiho for many years. They had trained together. They had fought together. He knew exactly what Taiho was capable of. If those aliens attacked Taiho, Minho almost felt sorry for them, almost back on the station. Krell finalized his plans with Commander Drax, his most trusted military officer. Drax was smaller than Krell, but just as deadly. He had won countless battles for the Voran Empire. 12 of my best warriors will attack during the cultural event, Drax said. "We will cut the lights first. In the darkness, we will strike. The human will be dead before anyone knows what happened." Krell grinned. "Excellent. Make sure it looks like an accident. Perhaps a malfunction that caused an explosion. The humans simply got caught in it. And if someone investigates, they will find nothing," Krell said. "Who would waste time investigating the death of a prey animal? The council will simply move on, and humans will never be mentioned again." The night before the attack, Tai-Ho stood by the window of his quarters. He looked out at the stars. So many worlds out there. So many species. Humanity wanted to be part of this great community. They wanted peace and friendship. But Tai-Ho knew that sometimes peace required strength. Sometimes friendship had to be earned through blood. Yuna joined him by the window. "Tomorrow will change everything," she said. Tai-Ho nodded slowly. "Yes, tomorrow they will learn why Earth sent me." He turned away from the stars. His gentle eyes had grown cold. The Diplomat was fading. The Reaper was waking up tomorrow. The galaxy would meet the real humanity, and they would never see them the same way again. The grand hall of the Galactic Council Station was filled with light and color. Thousands of beings from hundreds of species gathered together for the cultural exchange event. It was a tradition that happened every cycle. Each species would share something from their world. Art, music, food, stories. It was meant to bring the galaxy closer together. Tai-Ho walked through the crowd with Yuna beside him. He wore his gray suit as always. His face carried its usual gentle smile. He stopped to admire the artwork of different species. He listened politely to strange music that hurt his human ears. He tasted foods that his body could barely digest. To everyone watching, he was simply a curious diplomat enjoying the event. But beneath his calm surface, Tai-Ho was completely aware of everything around him. He noticed the 12 Vorn warriors spread throughout the hall. They tried to look casual, but their eyes kept returning to him. He noticed the slight bulge under their ceremonial robes where they hid their weapons. He noticed how they slowly moved closer, surrounding him like predators circling prey. Yuna stayed close. She had noticed too. Her hand rested near her bag where she kept her own hidden tools. The human display was small but beautiful. Earth had sent paintings and photographs, images of mountains and oceans, cities and forests. Music played softly from speakers. It was a song about hope and dreams. Many aliens stopped to look. Some were curious. Some were dismissive, but a few seemed genuinely moved by what they saw. Ambassador Liera approached Tai-Ho. Her wings fluttered with excitement. "Your world is beautiful," she said. "I had no idea humans created such lovely art." "Thank you," Tai-Ho said. "We believe that beauty can be found everywhere, even in darkness." Liera tilted her head. "That is a strange thing to say." Before Tai-Ho could respond, the lights went out. The grand hall fell into complete darkness. Screams filled the air as aliens panicked. Bodies crashed into each other. The chaos was immediate and overwhelming, but Tai-Ho did not panic. He did not move. He simply stood still and let his other senses take over. His ears caught the sound of feet running toward him. His nose detected the specific scent of Vorn warriors. His skin felt the displacement of air as weapons were raised. They came at him from all directions. 12 warriors with energy blades that glowed faintly in the darkness. They expected to find a frightened prey animal. They expected an easy kill. They were wrong. The first warrior swung his blade at Tai-Ho's neck. Tai-Ho was not there. He had moved before the blade even began its arc. His hand shot out and struck the warrior's throat. The Vorn dropped without a sound. The second warrior stabbed toward Tai-Ho's chest. Tai-Ho turned sideways, letting the blade pass within a centimeter of his body. His elbow crashed into the warrior's face. Bones cracked. Another one fell. The third and fourth attacked together. Tai-Ho dropped low and swept his leg across the floor. Both warriors lost their balance. Before they could recover, Tai-Ho's fists found their vulnerable spots, pressure points that existed in almost every carbon-based species. They collapsed. 5, 6, 7. They came faster now, desperate and afraid. Tai-Ho moved like water, like shadow, like death itself. His pen became a stabbing weapon that found gaps in armor. His belt became a whip that disarmed and strangled. His tie clip released a flash of light that blinded 2 warriors before they could. Strike. 8, 9, 10. Tai-Ho was not fighting. He was performing. Every movement was perfect. Every strike was precise. He broke bones, but avoided killing. He caused pain, but left them alive. This was harder than simply ending them. It required absolute control. 11:12. The last two warriors attacked together with all their strength. Taiho caught one blade between his palms. He twisted, and the weapon flew from the warrior's hands. A kick sent that one flying. The final warrior hesitated. He saw his 11 companions on the ground. He saw the human standing calmly in the middle of them. Not breathing hard. Not sweating. Not even injured. The warrior dropped his weapon and ran. The whole attack had lasted 60 seconds. Emergency lights finally came on. The grand hall was filled with red glow. Aliens looked around in confusion and fear. Then they saw the scene in the center of the room. 12 Vorn warriors lay on the ground. Some groaned in pain. Some were unconscious. One was trying to crawl away with broken legs. And standing among them was the human diplomat. Taiho straightened his suit. It was not torn. It was not even wrinkled. He adjusted his tie and ran a hand through his hair. Then he looked up at the crowd with his gentle smile back in place. Silence filled the hall. Every alien stared at the human with new eyes. This was impossible. Humans were weak. Humans were prey. How could one small creature defeat 12 Vorn warriors in complete darkness? Ambassador Krell pushed through the crowd. His yellow eyes were wide with shock. This was not supposed to happen. The humans should be dead. His warriors were the finest in the Vorn Empire. Taiho saw Krell approaching. He walked toward the massive reptilian alien. His footsteps were the only sound in the silent hall. Krell wanted to run. Every instinct told him to flee, but he was frozen in place. The look in the human's eyes had changed. They were no longer gentle. They were empty, cold, like staring into the void of space itself. Taiho stopped directly in front of Krell. He had to look up to meet the alien's eyes, but somehow it felt like Krell was the one looking up. Ambassador Krell, Taiho said softly. His voice was calm and polite as always. I believe your warriors had an accident. They seem to have fallen down. Krell could not speak. His mouth opened, but no words came out. Taiho leaned slightly closer. His voice dropped to a whisper that only Krell could hear. On Earth, we have a saying. Never mistake kindness for weakness. I have been kind to you. But make no mistake, if you threaten humanity again, I will not be so gentle. He stepped back and raised his voice for everyone to hear. These warriors need medical attention. Please, someone call for help. They have many broken bones. Nice. Medical teams rushed forward. Aliens helped each other calm down. The event was ruined, but no one cared about that anymore. They were all thinking the same thing. What were humans really? Yuna appeared beside Taiho. She looked at the fallen warriors and then at her companion. You did not kill any of them. That would send the wrong message. What message did you want to send? Taiho watched as the warriors were carried away. His gentle expression had returned. He looked once again like a kind teacher or a peaceful scholar. I wanted them to know that we could have killed them. All of them. But we chose not to. Because we are not monsters. We are humans. And we would rather have friends than corpses. High Elder Morith appeared in the hall. The ancient being looked at the chaos around him. He looked at Taiho. For the first time in centuries, the High Elder felt something he had almost forgotten. Fear. Human Diplomat, Marath said slowly. I believe we need to talk. Taiho bowed respectfully. Of course, High Elder. I am at your service. The galaxy had just learned its first lesson about humanity, and class was only beginning. The council chamber was the heart of galactic civilization. It was a massive circular room with seats rising in tiers around a central platform. Representatives from over 300 species sat in their assigned places. Today, every seat was filled. Word had spread quickly about what happened at the cultural exchange event. Everyone wanted to see what would happen next. Taiho stood on the central platform. He was calm and composed as always. His gray suit was clean and neat. His hands were folded in front of him. He looked like a man waiting patiently for a train. Not someone who had defeated 12 warriors the night before. Beside him stood Yuna. Behind them, Ambassador Krell waited with his remaining warriors. His yellow eyes burned with hatred and fear. His scales had lost some of their shine. He looked smaller somehow, as if the events of the previous night had taken something from him. High Elder Moroth sat in the highest seat. His ancient eyes looked down at the scene below. When he spoke, his voice filled the entire chamber without effort. We are gathered here to discuss the events that occurred during the cultural exchange ceremony. An attack was made against a diplomatic representative. This is a serious violation of council law. Krell stepped forward immediately. High Elder, I demand justice. The human attacked my warriors without cause. He is a dangerous creature who should be removed from this station immediately. Murmurs spread through the chamber. Some aliens nodded in agreement. Others looked doubtful. Moroth raised a hand for silence. You claim the human attacked your warriors? Ambassador Taiho, how do you respond? Taiho bowed respectfully before speaking. High Elder, with great respect, I must disagree with Ambassador Krell. I did not attack anyone. I defended myself against 12 armed warriors who attacked me in darkness. I would ask the council to consider the evidence before making judgment. What evidence? Krell demanded. There is only your word against mine, a soft voice spoke from the tiers above. There is more than that. Ambassador Lee stood up. Her golden wings caught the light as she descended to the central platform. In her delicate hands, she carried a small device. I have here recordings from the cultural exchange event, Lee said. My people believe in truth above all else. When I heard rumors of a plot against the humans, I placed recording devices throughout the Grand Hall. With the council's permission, I would like to show what really happened. Krell's face changed color. His scales became pale. This is outrageous. You had no right to spy on us. The recordings were made in a public space during a public event, Lee replied calmly. There was no privacy to violate. Moroth nodded slowly. Show us. The chamber's lights dimmed. Holographic images appeared in the air above the platform. The recording showed the cultural exchange event from multiple angles. It showed the Vorn warriors taking positions around Taiho. It showed the lights going out. And it showed what happened next. The aliens in the chamber watched in complete silence. They saw the warriors attack first. They saw Taiho defend himself with incredible speed and precision. They saw him defeat all 12 opponents while barely moving from his spot. But what struck them most was what they did not see. They did not see Taiho kill anyone. He broke bones. He caused pain. But every warrior was left alive. The human had shown mercy even to those who wanted to murder him. The recording continued. It showed conversations from earlier days. Krell meeting with other ambassadors. Krell ordering the attack. Krell laughing about how easy it would be to kill the prey animal. When the recordings ended, the chamber was silent. Every eye turned to Krell. The Vorn ambassador looked around desperately. His allies in the chamber avoided his gaze. No one wanted to be associated with him now. This is false, Krell said weakly. The recordings have been altered. The humans used their technology to create lies. Our technicians have verified the recordings, Lee said. They are authentic and unmodified. Moroth's voice cut through the tension like a blade. Ambassador Krell, the evidence is clear. You ordered an attack on a diplomatic representative under council protection. You violated the most sacred laws of this institution. Do you have anything to say in your defense? Krell stood in silence for a long moment. Then his rage exploded. You want me to defend myself? Fine, yes, I ordered the attack. Because humans are a threat to all of us. Look at what one human did to 12 of my best warriors. Imagine what an army of them could do. They are not prey. They are predators, wearing the skin of prey. If we let them into the council, they will eventually destroy us all. The chamber erupted in noise. Aliens shouted at each other. Some agreed with Krell. Others demanded his punishment. It was chaos. Taiho raised his hand and asked to speak. Moroth granted permission. The chamber slowly fell silent. I understand why Ambassador Krell is afraid, Taiho said. His voice was soft, but it carried to every corner of the room. He looked at me and saw something weak, something easy to destroy. When he discovered he was wrong, his fear turned to hatred. I do not blame him for this. He paused and looked around at the hundreds of species watching him. Yes, I am skilled in combat. Yes, I could have killed those warriors, but I chose not to. And that choice is what makes humanity different. We have known war. We have known violence. Our history is filled with blood and suffering, but we have also known peace. We have known love. We have learned that true strength is not about destroying others. It is about having the power to destroy and choosing not to. He turned to face Krell directly. Ambassador, I do not want to be your enemy. Humanity does not want to be anyone's enemy. We came here seeking friendship, seeking cooperation, seeking a place among the stars where we can contribute to something greater than ourselves. Krell stared at him with confusion. He had expected threats. He had expected demands. This was something he did not understand, Tahoe continued. I ask the Council not for revenge against the Vorn. I ask only for justice. Let the laws of the Council be applied fairly, and let humanity have the chance to prove what we truly are. Morith watched the human for a long time. Then he spoke. Ambassador Krell, for your crimes against Council law, the Vorn Empire will face immediate sanctions. You personally are stripped of your diplomatic status and will be returned to your homeworld for judgment by your own people. Your allies in this plot will also face investigation. Krell was escorted from the chamber by Council security. He did not resist. He seemed broken. His entire worldview had been shattered in a single night. After he was gone, Morith addressed Tahoe directly. Human diplomat, I must ask you something. Are all humans like you? Tahoe smiled his gentle smile. No, High Elder. I am considered quite gentle among my people. A wave of unease spread through the chamber. If this man, this deadly warrior who had humiliated the Vorn, was considered gentle, what were the rest of the humans like? Later that night, Morath visited Tahoe in his quarters. It was highly unusual for the High Elder to meet privately with a new species. But these were unusual circumstances. Tell me the truth, Morith said. What are humans really? What is your species hiding? Tahoe poured tea for both of them. He took his time before answering. We are survivors, he finally said. Our world is harsh. Our history is cruel. We have spent thousands of years fighting each other. Every generation has known war. Every culture has known violence. We have developed countless ways to kill and countless ways to heal. We have built weapons that could destroy our entire planet, and we have built art and music that could make even gods weep with beauty. He looked at Morith with honest eyes. We are everything, High Elder. We are capable of terrible darkness and incredible light. We came to the stars hoping to become better than we were. We want to learn from the galaxy. We want to share what we have learned. But we will also protect ourselves if we must. Morith considered this for a long moment. And what about you specifically? What are you really? A diplomat or a warrior? Tahoe set down his teacup. I am whatever humanity needs me to be. In the sky outside the station, invisible to all sensors, the silent wind briefly decloaked. Minho looked at the station and allowed himself a small smile. His old friend had done well. The ship vanished again into the darkness of space. But everyone who had witnessed the events of the past day knew one thing for certain. Humanity was not what they seemed. And underestimating them would be the last mistake anyone ever made. The day of the vote arrived. The council chamber was more crowded than it had been in centuries. Every seat was filled. Observers packed the galleries above. Ships from distant worlds had sent representatives just to witness this moment. The events of the past days had spread across the galaxy. Everyone wanted to see what would happen to the strange species called humanity. Tahoe stood on the central platform once again. He wore his same gray suit. His hands were folded in front of him. His expression was calm and peaceful. Nothing about him suggested the warrior that had been revealed at the cultural exchange. He was once again the gentle diplomat who bowed to everyone and smiled softly at insults. This, perhaps more than anything, terrified the aliens watching him. They now knew what lay beneath that gentle surface, and the fact that he could hide it so completely was deeply unsettling. High Elder Morith addressed the chamber. We gather today to vote on the membership of humanity in the Galactic Council. This decision will shape the future of our community. I ask all representatives to consider carefully before casting their vote. The voting began. Each species had one vote. The results appeared on massive screens around the chamber. For a long time, the numbers were close. Some species voted yes. Some voted no. Many remembered Krell's warnings about human danger. But many more remembered Taiho's mercy and his words about strength and choice. Hours passed. Species after species cast their vote. The tension in the chamber grew with each passing moment. Taiho stood perfectly still throughout. He did not fidget. He did not show any sign of worry. He simply waited. Finally, the last vote was cast. The screens flickered and updated with the final result. Humanity had been accepted into the Galactic Council. A roar erupted from parts of the chamber. Some aliens celebrated. Others sat in troubled silence. The galaxy had changed forever in that moment. Morith raised his hand for quiet. The vote is complete. Humanity is now a member of the Galactic Council with full rights and responsibilities. Ambassador Taiho, do you wish to address the council? Taiho bowed deeply. When he straightened, his eyes swept across the hundreds of species watching him. High Elder, honored representatives, I thank you for this opportunity. Humanity has dreamed of this moment since we first looked up at the stars. We are young. We have much to learn. But we bring gifts as well. He paused, and his voice grew stronger. We bring curiosity. Humans want to understand everything. We will explore your cultures and histories with great interest. We bring creativity. Our artists and scientists will work alongside yours to create things never imagined before. We bring determination. When humans commit to something, we do not stop until it is achieved. His expression became serious. And yes, we bring strength. We will not lie about this. Humanity knows how to fight. We know how to survive. If the Council is ever threatened, you will find humans standing beside you, not as conquerors, but as protectors. He looked directly at the section where the Vorn representatives sat. I also want to address those who fear us. Your fear is understandable. We are different from any species you have met before. But fear can become respect, and respect can become friendship. We ask only for the chance to prove ourselves. Morith nodded slowly. Well spoken. Humanity, welcome to the Galactic Council. In the days that followed, everything changed for Taiho and Yuna. They were no longer ignored or mocked. Ambassadors lined up to meet with them. Everyone wanted to be friends with the humans now. Some came out of genuine interest. Others came out of fear. Taiho treated them all with the same gentle politeness. Ambassador Liray visited often. She had become humanity's first true alien friend. Her bravery in revealing the recordings had earned her great respect, and she was proud to be associated with the new member species. I have a question, Liray said during one of their meetings. Why did your people send you specifically? There must be other diplomats on Earth. Why choose one who is also a warrior? Taiho considered the question carefully. Because Earth knew the galaxy would not be kind to us at first. They knew some would try to harm us. And they wanted those who tried to learn a lesson they would never forget. But you could have killed all those warriors easily. Why'd you hold back? Because dead enemies tell no stories, Taiho said simply. Those warriors will return to their homes. They will tell everyone what happened. They will describe how a small, soft human defeated them in seconds and then showed mercy. That story will spread. And every species that hears it will think twice before threatening humanity. Liray's wings fluttered with admiration. Your people think very far ahead. We've learned to, Taiho replied. Survival requires planning. One unexpected visitor came a few days later. It was Commander Drax, the Vorn military officer who had planned the attack. He walked into the human quarters slowly. His body was still recovering from his injuries. He moved with difficulty and pain. Yuna moved to block him, but Taiho waved her aside. Commander Taiho said politely, I am surprised to see you here. Drax stood in silence for a moment. Then he bowed. It was a deep, formal bow. A bow of respect from one warrior to another. Came to apologize, Drax said. His voice was rough with shame. I thought you were weak. I thought killing you would be easy. I was wrong. More wrong than I have ever been in my life. Taiho gestured to a seat. Please, sit. You are still healing. Drax sat carefully. His eyes studied Taiho with new understanding. I have been a warrior my whole life. I have fought in dozens of battles. I have never been defeated so completely. Not once in 60 years of service. You are skilled, Taiho acknowledged. Your warriors were well trained, but you made mistakes. You assumed I was what I appeared to be. You attacked in darkness, which helped me more than you, and you underestimated the human capacity for violence. How did your species become so dangerous? Drax asked. You have no natural weapons. No claws, no armor, no venom. How? Taiho was quiet for a moment. Then he spoke slowly. Because we had to. Our world was full of predators, larger and stronger than us. Every day was a fight for survival. We could not outrun them or outfight them with our bodies. So we learned to outthink them. We made weapons from stone and wood. We made traps and ambushes. We learned to fight as groups, protecting each other. He looked at his own hands. And then, when we had conquered all the predators, we turned on each other. For thousands of years, humans fought humans. We developed weapons that could kill millions in seconds. We created diseases that could wipe out entire populations. We became so good at killing that we nearly destroyed ourselves many times. Drax listened in silence. This was a history of violence that rivaled even the Vorn. But we also grew tired of war, Taiho continued. We learned that victory means nothing if there is no one left to share it with. So we began to seek peace. Not because we were weak, but because we finally understood the true cost of strength. He met Drax's eyes directly. That is what I showed your warriors. The cost of challenging humanity. We could have wiped out your entire delegation in minutes. We chose not to, because we are trying to be better than our nature. Drax was silent for a long time. Then he asked, What happens now? Between our peoples? That depends on you, Taiho said. We can be enemies, forever watching each other with suspicion. Or we can learn from this and build something new. The choice is yours. Drax stood slowly. He bowed again. I will return to my people with this story. I will tell them the truth about humans. Perhaps it will help us understand each other better. That is all I ask, Taiho said. After Drax left, Yuna looked at Taiho with wonder. You turned an enemy into a messenger. Everything you do has purpose. Taiho smiled tiredly. I am tired of making enemies. The galaxy has enough conflict. I would rather make friends. Finally, the day came for Taiho and Yuna to return to Earth. They had accomplished their mission. Humanity was part of the Galactic Council. The galaxy knew what humans were capable of, and they had made allies who would stand with them. As they walked to their ship, Morith appeared to see them off. You have changed things, the High Elder said. The Council will never be the same. Change is not always bad, Taiho replied. No, Morith agreed, but it is always frightening. I have lived for thousands of years. I have seen empires rise and fall, but I have never seen anything quite like humanity. Taiho bowed one final time. We are just getting started, High Elder. There is much more to come. On the ship, Taiho finally allowed himself to relax. He removed his gray suit jacket. Beneath his shirt, scars covered his back and arms. Evidence of a lifetime of violence and survival. Each scar told a story. Most of those stories ended with someone else's death. Yuna looked at the scars and felt a deep sadness. This man had given everything for his people. His body, his peace, his soul. He had become a weapon so that others could remain innocent. Are you all right? She asked softly. Taiho looked out at the stars. The station was getting smaller behind them. Ahead lay Earth. Home, family, rest. "Today was a good day," he said finally. A genuine smile crossed his face. Nobody had to die. The ship flew on through the darkness. Behind them, the galaxy buzzed with talk about humanity. The new species that looked weak but was terrifyingly strong. The species that could kill without effort but chose mercy instead. The species that sent their deadliest warrior dressed as a kind diplomat.